Okay, thank you so much for doing this. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Okay.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
The first question is, who was your first wrestling interview and where were you nervous?
Oh, good question. So my first ever wrestling interview was with Bobby Lashley, and I was more nervous for that than I think maybe any other interview I've ever done, because I didn't think I'd be able to interview wrestlers. I was working as an entertainment reporter and interviewing a lot of musicians. I was interviewing a lot of actors, and I said to my boss, do you think we could interview a wrestler one day? And I was just selfishly wanting to hang out with wrestlers and get paid for it. And they said, yeah, we interview wrestlers all the time. So then Bobby Lashley came to the TV station, and he is a very large man. So not only was I nervous to interview Bobby Lashley, but then he comes in and he's twice the size of me. So now I'm even more nervous. So that was it. It's on YouTube. I put it up recently as a throwback. Yeah, he's such a kind man, though. There was no reason for me to be nervous.
Okay, I'm just going to say one thing before I get to my next question. I think you're probably one of the funniest people that I've interviewed so far.
Oh my gosh. Hey, let me ask you a question before we go forward here. What's your favorite action figure behind you?
My favorite action figure, well, in box or out of box?
It's which one?
In box or out of box?
Oh, well, how about both?
In box, I can't reach. It's the Slim June Macho Man up there.
Ooh, yeah. Dig it.
Right here.
That's the cream of the crop. Yeah. Nice.
And out of box is something that my dad is right beside me.
You've got a lot. I only have one behind me here. You have 517 behind you.
Close.
How many?
1,000.
Wow,
Well,
there it is.
Since I can't find my other one that's out of box that I like the most, this is my second one.
Oh, I can't see it. Oh, that's awesome. Very nice. Very nice.
My favorite John Cena out of all 50 John Cenas I have.
50 John Cenas.
He's my hero. He's my hero. Oh.
He's a very nice man.
I nailed my mom in the head with my Slim Macho Man. Okay, the next question. What has been your top 5 interviews and why?
It's very hard to narrow it down to 5, but I'll try my best here. So The Rock is number 1. I've interviewed The Rock.
You interviewed The Rock?
I've interviewed The Rock 9 times.
Bro, can you hook me up?
Can I hook you up with an interview with The Rock? I wish I could hook myself up with another interview with The Rock. So that's number 1, The Rock. Then the interview I did with Kurt Angle earlier this year was just amazing. He was so open, so honest, told such great stories. So there's 2. I've done 3 interviews with your friend John Cena. So that's on the list. Yeah, and he was so kind to me. We were supposed to do the interview for 10 minutes, and then he kept making it longer and longer. Oh, no, we still got more time. Keep going.
It's so like I did one interview with Roman Reigns, and that's what happened. We were supposed to be there for like 5 minutes or so. It ended up we've been there for like 2 hours.
Wow, that's good. Okay, so there's 3. I'm going to go outside of wrestling with this one. Tom Cruise was one of my favorite interviews. So there's 4, and I got to interview Tom Cruise in Paris, Mission Impossible world premiere, and then it was on the red carpet. The Eiffel Tower was right there. So there's 4. Number 5. I'm going to go with, this is tough. I only have 1 spot left. Okay. All right. I got it. I interviewed Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair at the same time. And we had woos, we had brothers, we had it all. So I think it's going to be that one.
How do you do it?
I just asked. I said, hey, could we do an interview? And they said,
can you hook me up with him on Facebook?
Hulk Hogan or Ric Flair?
Hulk Hogan.
I'm sure Hulk Hogan would do an interview with you. Just send him a nice message. He's a very nice man.
Okay, so third question. Why did you decide to start interviewing wrestlers. Like watching wrestling saved me after my brain surgeries, which is why I started.
Well, you have a much better reason than I do. I just was a huge wrestling fan and was working as an entertainment reporter. So I was already interviewing all these other stars, and I've always been a big wrestling fan. So I selfishly just wanted to hang out with wrestlers. I was like, if we're interviewing these other entertainment figures, why can't we interview wrestlers? And that's really where it started. And we were only putting 15, 20, 30 seconds of it on TV. And I had the other, 10, 15, 20 minutes of it that wasn't being aired on TV. So I just started uploading these interviews to my YouTube channel, basically just for a place for these interviews to live. And that's where this whole thing began. It was kind of an accident. My YouTube channel started completely by accident. And I got to thank you, Stephen. These were three very well thought out questions.
There's actually one more.
Oh boy, bring it.
And after the last one, I just need to ask you one thing.
Yeah.
What advice can you give a young YouTuber like me that is just starting out?
I think it's important to know what your content is, know what your niche is. And you've obviously figured that out. You're going to want to interview wrestlers. I think it's important to be consistent. I think it's important to put out, if you're going to put out a video every Monday, you don't skip any Mondays. If you're going to put out 2 videos every week, you don't skip those weeks. You put one out. So I think it's important to be consistent. And it's also important to realize if you're going to be doing these interviews with guests, it's important to realize that it's not all about you. It's about what's in it for them. So if you're asking Hulk Hogan or you're asking The Rock to do an interview, it's important to position it in a way that they're also gaining some value out of this. Because obviously, there's tremendous value for you to have them on your show, but what's in it for them? And if you can start to lead with what's in it for them and what's in it for your audience, your YouTube channel will just skyrocket and grow from there.
Okay, I have 2 things. Okay. How in the world did you interview The Rock 9 times?
Well, I was working for TV stations, and The Rock was promoting the movies he was in. So I started by interviewing The Rock for Fast and Furious 5, then G.I. Joe, then Rampage, then Jumanji, then Baywatch. So basically, The Rock does a lot of movies, and The Rock was promoting the movies. That was really how it happened.
On and on and on and on and on. And the last thing, what's your YouTube name channel?
What's that?
What's your YouTube name channel?
It's right here. Chris Van Vliet. There it is. Thank you for letting me plug that in this interview.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, buddy. You're awesome.
Thank you, Stephen.
Thanks, Stephen.